Hi guys, and welcome back to Snow White and the Seven Does. This is episode number 11. Thank you for joining me again for another episode. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be doing this with you guys. Today I wanted to talk about healthy habits, how we can form those, what those look like, and how to make them consistent in our life. I know I experience seasons. Like every month I go through seasons emotionally. So like I'll have a kind of down period where I don't feel as motivated. I need a lot of rest, and then I've got a period where I kind of spark an idea, and then I'm working on that idea, I'm creating that idea, and then I'm kind of following through with it, I guess. Like the fourth one is just like following through and then receiving, and then I'm back in it. I feel like I go through that once a month. Learning your stages in your like cycle, whether it's once a month, every 6 months, or whatever, learning how your body works will help you in manifesting what you want, because you'll just be more in tune with yourself. You'll be divinely connected to yourself. You'll be more understanding with yourself as well, because in manifesting, you want to hold a high vibe, a high emotion. So if you're you're tearing yourself down for being tired or needing the rest, it's not good to be speaking to yourself like that. So understanding, oh, I'm going through this period right now, this is kind of my feeling state right now, is just a little bit more restful instead of more active. That's totally okay. I just need to give my body this time so that I can fully create at my highest potential and I can be my highest and best self. So some healthy habits that you can get into are setting a sleep schedule for yourself. So having a consistent sleep schedule is really good for your brain and your mental health, because you're basically just creating a routine for your body. Your body knows this is the time I'm like about to get ready for bed, going to bed. So going to bed is easier. You're not tossing and turning, and then you wake up, you're more restful because you had REM sleep. Your body knew that it was time for sleep. I really like waking up and going to bed with the sun. That's not always possible because of like daylight savings time, and that's why it kind of fucks with me is when daylight savings time rolls around. When I wake up at like 6, 7 a.m., I have a tremendously better day. But I give myself that leisure of sleeping until like 8, 9, 10 o'clock sometimes when I'm feeling like I need to. And when I need a nap, I take a nap. I listen to my body, I listen to its needs so that it can thrive. Another healthy habit that you can do is just getting into a routine of self-care, washing yourself, brushing your teeth, skincare, just like a routine every single night. Maybe it's a face mask, an ice facial. I did an ice facial today. I was talking about those in the past video as well. Those are so nice. When I do those, I think it's important to just focus on the feeling when you're doing it, and it really will release like tension in your whole body. And then another routine that you can get into is just on the daily, like treating yourself, like whether that's with coffee or watching the sunset, going for a nice drive, doing something that you really enjoy doing that makes you happy for yourself. If you're in a relationship or like even a friendship where you spend a lot of time together, make sure that you're taking time for yourself every single day to do your little daily routines. Okay, you need to be prioritizing yourself no matter what. Taking care of your emotional well-being so that in any relationship you are working out of like a place of love and not anger or being tired or whatever. Like, you know, you're not projecting your problems onto that person, whoever it may be. So yeah, making sure that you're emotionally aware is very important. I talk about emotional intelligence all the time. Emotional intelligence is basically just knowing how to stay calm and knowing when you're acting out of character, and taking the steps to build a routine to where, oh hey, I don't want to be acting this way. This might not end favorably because I don't feel good right now. So how about I take a second, take a step back, take a deep breath, maybe go for a walk, realign with my good feeling emotions, and then move forward. Another healthy habit that you can get into is definitely just eating right, eating consistently and right. So not binging and restricting, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and healthy foods. A lot of people will gain weight when they're drinking alcohol. So if you're like eating healthy and you're drinking a lot of alcohol, but you're like, why am I, and going to the gym and you're like, why am I not losing weight? It's probably because of alcohol. Every shot that you take is like 1,000 or 100 calories. So it can add up, and each seltzer is like 100 calories too. So yeah, it can add up. You can be basically like drinking your daily limit of calories. So just a thought. And then consuming good foods for you, obviously, like fruits, vegetables, hitting the food groups, and then that obviously helps your mental health. A lot of your serotonin comes from your stomach, so when you're not giving your stomach what it needs, serotonin is what makes you happy. So if you're depriving yourself of that, then you're not happy. And also, if you're depriving yourself of something, then it's showing yourself that you don't love yourself, and it shows in your entire 3D and all of your reality and everything that you're doing and creating elsewhere. So you need to take care of yourself, and that comes with eating right, taking vitamins, and getting the right nutrients and minerals. When I was struggling with acne, a doctor told me, I still have problems with acne, but whatever. A doctor told me that zinc helps. Zinc picolinate, I think is what it's called. Can take that vitamin and it does help, and then like biotin obviously helps, things like that. So if you're like struggling with a problem, research what sort of vitamin deficiency you're going through, and it usually helps. And also, if you're going through a problem like a health sickness, research what sort of holistic healing things that you can do, affirmations that you can say to heal that sickness, because a lot of cancer, lung disease, like a lot of deathly illnesses come, you cause them. You cause them from stress, from jealousy, from greed, from bad emotions, feelings that are just like, basically, look at this fly. Do you see this? Whatever, you get it. If something happens in your day-to-day life and you feel triggered, that's a test from the universe. So you can take that as a sign that your manifestation is coming soon, because the universe is testing you. It wants to see how you're going to emotionally react to the situation, how you're going to manifest moving forward, because manifesting is showing any emotion to any situation. So by not reacting, not responding, or if an unfavorable situation happens, just laugh it off. Just laugh it off, or smile it off, keep moving, keep walking. You pass the test. Good job. Good job. I know that there have been times in my life where I'm like, this is a test and I don't pass it, and I feel like, oh, I didn't pass the test. And then a similar situation comes up in the future and then I pass it, but I noted, okay, that was a test, I didn't pass it. And that's okay. You can make mistakes. In life, you're bound to make mistakes. In manifesting, you're bound to make mistakes. We have bad days. We accidentally manifest bad things. That will happen in the beginning, but as you get better and as this becomes more routine and you just step into your higher self, it's going to become second nature. It's going to become super easy. Another healthy habit would be going to the gym, participating in regular exercise. So every single day, I don't like going to the gym all the time. I also don't like doing the same thing all the time. So I like switching up my routine. I don't like every single day being the same. So that's why I'm throwing out a bunch of healthy habits, because I understand that not every day is the same. Sometimes you're traveling, sometimes you're in a position where you're not able to practice everything all the time, just because time is limited and you're busy and life happens. So take some and use some one day, use some the other day, whatever helps you. But with exercise and going to the gym, I highly recommend, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to regulate your nervous system, if you're feeling stressed, go for a walk. Go for a high-speed walk. You can put your headphones in, listen to affirmations. I just uploaded an affirmation track, so you can listen to that on the walk. You can do any other one on YouTube. Just put yourself back in a good feeling state. Whenever you're not feeling good, note, hey, I'm not feeling good. What can I do to help make myself feel good now, so that I can better manifest in my day-to-day, better manifest having a good feeling state 24/7 essentially. Okay? Other than that, I would just recommend every once in a while, it's good to go outside of your usual circle. So to see like how other walks of life go about life, just to get some creative inspiration and kind of just ground yourself. And then going out in nature, spending time in nature, walking barefoot in nature, walking barefoot in the grass. Your body actually has electrons. So when you walk barefoot in the grass or on like the earth, you're releasing the electrons, you're releasing like the negative energy, and it's really good for you. It's really good for your nervous system. Listening to sound baths and sound healing, I've been recently doing that, and it's been amazing. Like, I didn't really realize what it was gonna do for me, but I really like that routine. I told you, like, I like switching it up. So one day doing a sound bath, and then the next doing a meditation, the next yoga, or like 2 in 1, whatever works for you. Just find a personal routine that works for you on the daily, weekly basis, daily, weekly, monthly basis, so that you can start building consistent routines in your life, so that you can step into your highest self, step into your higher power. You are the operant power of your universe. You are the operant power. So you have this knowledge. You know this. So you can do anything. You can create anything. You can be anything. It's you that chooses whether or not you want to do that today, whether or not you want to feel the way that your manifestation feels that day. That's why it's so important to um, train the mind, train the subconscious, train your thoughts, because thoughts create your reality. Thoughts create everything around you. So if you're in a relationship and you're constantly threatening, like breaking up with each other, that's manifesting, that's creating. So you want to be in a relationship where you're constantly building together, where you're constantly verbally building each other up, you're constantly verbally respecting each other and valuing each other, because that will build the relationship, whether it's a romantic one, a family one, or a friendship, anything. And when you're also manifesting, whatever you're creating, you want to do it from a good feeling state. When you look good, you feel good, and you produce good. You want to create from a good feeling space, whatever you're doing, whatever you're producing. You don't want to overexert yourself. You don't want to come from a place of lack or a place of scarcity. If the bills are piling up and the stress is getting high, and you're feeling like there's not that much light at the end of the tunnel, and you're creating from that space, that's what you're going to constantly get back. So what you want to be creating from is a place from abundance. You want to be thankful for everything that you do have, your bed that you get to sleep in at night, your warm blankets, the loved ones that surround you, your support group, the food in your fridge, the gas in your car, the trees producing oxygen. You want to thank the universe for providing all of these natural things for you. You want to believe and create from a state of a belief that you have everything you need to succeed. There is nothing that you are lacking to succeed. And if you think that there is anything in the 3D that you need to succeed, you are wrong. You are wrong. Everything is within you. Everything comes from an energetic state. Nothing in the material world will create your manifestation for you. Nothing in the material world is gonna create the feeling state, okay? Even if you got like a really nice car, like if you got a Bentley today, you would be so excited about that Bentley today, maybe a week, maybe even a month from now, maybe even a year from now, but that feeling will fade, because it's not the item that made you joyful, it was how the item made you feel that made you joyful. So, how do you find your higher self? How do you find what your higher self wants? How do you find what your higher self feels like, looks like, smells like, whatever? You grab a pen and paper, you grab your journal, and you get to know yourself. You get to know your wants, your needs, what you like, what you don't like, what makes you feel good, what makes you don't feel good. You get to know who you are internally, and then you love yourself internally. Practice that you can do is visualization, or also just jotting down like bullet points of your higher self, like physical, mental, and visual qualities. You can write those down. So like, my higher self wears all gold, and my higher self wears Burberry Goddess, and my higher self wears cat eyes, like cat eye wing liner, and she talks with confidence but also softly and calmly. Those types of things. When I visualize my higher self, I really like the tapes. I feel like it's very helpful to have someone walk you through it. There's millions of tapes out there. But if you also want to just take time by yourself, I would first get to a meditative state, breathe for like 2 minutes, With the breathing exercises, you want to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4, and try and hold for 4, and then continue that, and then focus on your breath, and then just focus on the feeling of the breath moving through the body. And then once you get to a really relaxed state, you want to picture yourself in your higher self's home. So like the big foyer, the living room, and then picture a big mirror in the living room, and then picture your higher self walking up to the mirror. What does she look like? What does he look like? You can also picture like yourself in your closet playing dress up or doing your makeup or just doing your day-to-day activities that you really like to do. When I'm manifesting or when I feel like it's a new chapter or era, you know what I mean, like everybody feels like there's a new chapter, like, oh, like this chapter closed, now there's a new chapter in my life. Whenever I feel like there's a new chapter, I like to go into my journal and write my intentions for that new chapter and what my want my life to look like in that new chapter, and then I visualize that new chapter. So like what my Monday morning will look like, or my Monday will look like, and then what my weekend looks like. I visualize that. Like, what is my higher self doing? She's waking up early, and then she's meditating, and then she's doing yoga, and she's writing in her journal, and then she's going for a walk, and then she's coming back, and she's getting ready, she's doing her makeup for the day, and then she's creating content, she's editing content, she's producing for herself, she's putting out, she's also relaxing, and she's doing what she enjoys and what she loves. She's hanging out with those that she loves, and she's helping others, and then she goes and eats this or makes this type of food. I like to fully visualize what that day looks like. If I'm manifesting a relationship, I like to manifest what the perfect date will look like. I don't like specifically manifesting a partner or a job or specifically something, because then you kind of take like the fun out of the universe. Like, the fun thing about life is not knowing what's happening. If they like to make you think that we know what's going on, but you really don't. You know what I mean? So you create it, you set out your intentions out there, but at the same time, it most of the time will come in a better form than you even imagined. So sometimes you can't even fathom like what it looks like. Try your best. But yeah, don't hold an expectation for someone or something, because you're just gonna repulse it. When you first meet someone and then you're like, oh, well, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, and these are my expectations. You're gonna ick them out. Like, you haven't even given them a shot yet. You know what I mean? And if they don't hit your expectations, obviously, like, don't continue seeing them. But, like, if you, like, expect something from them and then you get mad at them when they don't show up at that, like, it's more like you need to have the self-worth and the dignity to be like, okay, this isn't gonna work for me, bye. Like, with all love, peace, but bye. You know what I mean? That's it's your choice whether or not you want to stay in that situation or not. And you having self-worth, you having I don't know what the word I just used was, but you, whatever, is by moving as your higher self. Would my higher self do this? Would my higher self stay in a relationship like this? Would my higher self take someone talking to me like this? Would my higher self want to be here doing this? Would my higher self be here doing this? Ask yourself while you're at your 9 to 5. I think that it's very important to be thankful for a consistent check. You know, I think that's very important. And there's some emotion of stability that comes from that, and I think that's really good. But a 9 to 5, I've said this before, is basically like it gives you just enough to where you don't leave, to where you don't go on to your own thing. And note, like, when you're working a 9 to 5, you are someone else's passive income. You are someone else's passive income. So they're making more money than you are. Like, your work produces that person more money than you are making. So you are capable of owning your own business. You are capable of being your own boss. You are capable of being a CEO and doing that. But it does take risk. It does take having faith and belief in yourself and the universe. And, you know, whatever your heart may call for, whatever it is, whether it's a person, place, or thing, you're meant to have it. It's destiny for you to have that. So who are you? What are you doing on the day-to-day basis? What actions, what thoughts, what are you telling yourself? What are you doing that is creating your reality? Sit down and figure that out. If it's unfavorable, if you're not liking what you're seeing, if you're not liking what's around you, then you need to make a switch. Okay? And you know what that switch is. Sometimes that switch may seem uncertain, but if you trust in it, then it's going to be okay. You want to set yourself up for success. You want to prioritize yourself, put yourself on the pedestal that you're putting that job or the money or the person on. Take whatever that object is or person, place, or thing off the pedestal and put yourself on the pedestal. Shower yourself with love, shower yourself with attention. That will produce a good feeling state so that you can manifest everything in your reality. When you let go of expectations and you let go of like the need for your manifestation and your desire, and you just like bask in everything you currently have, that's when your manifestation will show up. That's when everything you want will start to fall into place. Every morning you want to start setting yourself up for success by setting routines for yourself that will create a good feeling state automatically when you wake up. So whether that's rolling over and putting a meditation on and going back to bed for 10 minutes, or immediately just hopping up out of bed and putting on an affirmation tape while you're washing your face, whatever it is, you want to make the first step be towards yourself. Every day, the first step should be towards yourself, and the last step should be towards yourself. Okay? Because, yeah, healing yourself heals the collective. I've said that. If you're feeling stagnant, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you don't know where to go from here, you've been doing the work, but nothing's showing up, go back and just mental throw up your life. Your financial state, your relationships, your career, your home life, mental throw up everything onto a piece of paper. What's going on? How does everything make you feel? Okay? And then go on another side and then write your dream life. You need to be able to dream it, to see it, to build it. Okay, so you just want to make sure that you're envisioning and doing as much work of creating the new life as you are of realizing that you are the creator of your current state, of your current patterns, okay? So you want to be aware of your patterns, but you don't want to keep saying that those patterns are your label. They're not your sticker. Like if someone's ever called you crazy, like if you've been like a crazy girl, like crazy is not your sticker. You're not always crazy. You can find a relationship and find like a partner where you feel safe and secure, to where you're not always second guessing whether or not they're trusting or reliable, you know? And people show you whether or not they're reliable with their actions. So if they're always late, or their word isn't consistent when they're like, or they're getting fucked up all the time or something, they don't seem mentally stable, like that's probably not a person your higher self would choose. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's your choice whether or not you want to live as your highest self or not. And when you live as your higher self, you're gonna push some people in your life away. Some people aren't gonna want to progress with you or grow with you on the same timeline. You know, they may later, but on the same timeline, not everybody will. So honestly, you have to just pick what's most important to yourself, your success, your needs, your emotional state, or all these people, places, and things that are calling your attention and your wants and your needs. There is like a lot of discipline and mental discipline that goes into manifesting. There's a lot of discipline that goes into manifesting in general, not just mental. Like, you can't be surrounding yourself with people that are partying all the time and living as your highest self. You can't. You can't be surrounding or doing things that are harming your vessel and your inner being and your mental state and live as your highest self. That's just not how it works. You can't be in a toxic relationship and constantly fighting with someone and live as your highest self. You can't. So you got to put yourself first. You got to put your needs first. If you find yourself like in a mental trap, I guess, you just need to distract yourself from whatever, because whatever you're focused on is what you're multiplying. So if you're focused on scarcity, focused on bills, then you're multiplying that. If you're focused on lack of love or a lack of commitment, then that's what you're multiplying. Or always in a third party state or whatever. Or what the other person's doing and not yourself, then you're multiplying them, like doing stuff that doesn't make you feel good. And you're like, I don't chase, I attract. There's a yin to a yang. So when you're chasing, you're repelling the other person. So you want to just attract. You want to be yourself, live as yourself, and your manifestation or the person will come. Okay? You don't want to come like off as desperate or like, don't, it's not cute. It's not cute to like, it's not cute to like have to second guess yourself or feel like move from a place of insecurity, like, oh, are you talking to another girl, or like, oh, like you like that girl, like that's not cute. Like take yourself out of that situation, for yourself. If you have like enough dignity, enough self-respect, pull yourself out from that and learn, hey, this is what happened, next time I don't want to do this. Okay, now let's move forward. Last tip that I'm going to give is just having a clean space. I recently, I cleaned today because it was extremely dirty in my house the past 2 days, because I was really enjoying having room to be dirty. Like I was living with 4 people and now I'm by myself. And so now I finally have room to like spread out and be dirty, and I can clean it whenever I want because no one's here to have to deal with it either. Like I don't have to deal with anybody else's needs. So I was excited to do that for myself, but then it felt so good and I felt so much more productive. I got so much done today because my space was clean. I hope that something that I said today was of some sort of use to you and you can use one tip in your life that'll help you. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was this episode of Snow White and the Seven Does. I'll see you soon.